All right, so get this. We're diving into some seriously cool AI stuff today, like AI that can write code, not just, basic stuff, but real deal solutions.
Yeah, and it's pulled right from GitHub.
No way.
It's wild, right?
Okay, so what are we looking at exactly?
The paper is called Training Software Engineering Agents and Verifiers with SWE Gym.
Catchy. So like this STD gym thing, it's like a training ground for AI, right? But for coding.
Exactly. It's all about mimicking real-world software development, those tough challenges. You know, the ones that keep you up at night.
Oh, tell me about it. So instead of me pulling all-nighters debugging, AI could swoop in and save the day.
Potentially, yeah. That's the dream, right? Freeing up devs for the more creative stuff.
Sign me up. Okay, so what makes this SW gym so special?
Well, it's the first open training environment of its kind. And it's built on a massive data set. I'm talking 2,438 real Python coding tasks.
Well, where'd they get all that?
Straight from GitHub issues. Each task even has its own little pre-configured environment, like all the software is set up, ready to go. Plus, real-world unit tests.
No, they're not messing around. It's like throwing the AI into the deep end, huh?
Yeah. It's all about pushing those systems to their limits, see what they can really do. Oh, and they even have a elite version.
Elite version, like Diet SW Gym.
Exactly. 230 tasks if you just want to experiment a bit quicker. And a massive raw data set, too.
Hold on, how massive are we talking?
66,894 Python GitHub issues.
Wow, that's a lot of issues.
Yeah, those don't have the fully configured environments.
Got it, got it. Okay, so we've got our AI training ground, various levels of difficulty. But how do they actually train the AI to be coding ninjas?
Well, they're working with two main types of AI agents. First up, general-purpose prompting agents.
General purpose prompting agents, okay.
What are those? They're called open hands. Basically, they get a bunch of tools and have to figure things out on their own.
So, like a human developer?
Exactly. No hand-holding here. They have to problem solve, be adaptable. Then you've got these specialized workflow agents.
Okay, and those are...
Noteless tools. These guys follow a more structured process.
So open hands are like free spirits, moteless tools are more by the book.
Yes, something like that. Now, the training itself is interesting. They use rejection sampling fine-tuning.
Rejection sampling, huh? Sounds kind of harsh.
Well, the AI tries to solve a bunch of problems, right?
Yeah.
And they only use the successful attempts to refine the training further.
So focus on the wins. Smart. But doesn't the AI need to learn from its mistakes too?
It does, but it's more about making the learning process super efficient. This way, the AI builds on its strengths, those effective strategies. And let me tell you, the results are impressive.
Lay it on me.
Fine-tuning on SW Gym really boosted performance. Like on the SW bench test, there was up to a 19% increase in the solve rate.
19%, that's huge. Imagine being 19% more efficient at coding.
Right. Think of the time you could save, and it gets even better.
Oh, there's more.
This training actually helps the AI avoid getting stuck in loops, a common problem with these systems.
So they're learning to think critically, break free from those repetitive cycles. Cool. But how do we know the AI is writing good quality code? Who's checking its work?
That's where the verifier comes in.
The verifier, what's that?
Think of it like an expert code reviewer, but powered by AI, constantly evaluating the AI's work, making sure it's up to par.
So like a built-in quality control system. Pretty clever.
Right, and at least something called inference time scaling.
Okay, I'm listening. Inference time scaling. What's that?
Imagine you have a tough coding problem. Instead of getting one answer from the AI, you get multiple options, and the verifier helps you pick the best one.
Like a team of AI experts brainstorming. I love it. And how does that play out in terms of results?
Oh, the gains are significant. Solve rates on SW Bench Verified, sometimes up to 32%.
32%, seriously. That's amazing.
And get this, it could keep getting better, as computing power increases. More power, better code.
So this isn't just a one-off experiment. It's a framework for continuous improvement. That's pretty revolutionary, right?
It is. And it all comes down to data and computing power. The more they have, the better these AI systems perform.
It's like they're constantly leveling up.
Exactly. They've even experimented with different ways of scaling that training data, like adding more randomly, focusing on unique problems, even focusing on complete repositories.
And did those different approaches work?
Yep, they all led to improvements, which is great, shows that SW Gym's diversity is a real strength.
It's like the more varied the training, the better prepared the AI is for the real world, those unexpected challenges.
That's exactly it.
So we've got this awesome training ground, these super smart AI agents, this code quality control system.
Yeah.
It's all very cool, but I'm sure our listeners are wondering,
How does this affect them, right? What's the real world impact?
exactly, how does all this actually change things?
Well, one of the biggest things is that this research could lead to AI tools that seriously speed up software development. And, that could help with the global shortage of software engineers. Imagine AI handling all the tedious coding tasks.
And human developers could focus on the creative, strategic stuff.
Exactly. Now, some people might be thinking, are robots coming for my job?
Yeah, I was just about to ask that. It's a valid concern.
Oh, absolutely. But history shows us that technology creates new jobs, too.
Right, like when cars replaced horses.
Exactly. We didn't all become blacksmiths. New industries emerged. And the same thing could happen with AI and software development.
So instead of fearing AI, we should be learning how to work with it, adapt our skills.
Precisely. The key is to stay ahead of the curve. Be prepared for this new AI-powered world.
That's a great point. We often focus on the negative,
Yeah.
but there are so many exciting opportunities here.
Exactly. And this is just one example. There's so much innovation happening in AI right now. It's really mind-blowing.
So to all our listeners, stay curious, stay informed. This is an exciting time to be in tech.
Well said. And speaking of exciting, there are other aspects to this research we should explore, like the impact of scaling up these AI systems and the different ways we can train them to be even more effective.
Okay, I'm ready to dive deeper.
One of the things that just blows my mind about all of this is the scale.
Yeah.
I mean, thousands of coding tasks. It's crazy.
It's massive.
Yeah.
And the results are there too, right? Like those performance improvements are incredible.
Oh, yeah.
But where do we go from here? How do they make these AI systems even, I don't know, smarter?
Well, scaling up is key, more data, more compute power, better performance.
So the more they feed these systems, the more powerful they become.
Exactly. It's like this snowball effect.
I like that analogy.
And there are different ways to scale up, too. They've tried adding more data randomly or focusing on unique problems, even focusing on complete repositories.
And those different approaches all worked.
Yeah, every approach led to improvements.
Interesting. So it's not just about like throwing more data at the problem.
Nope.
It's about being, I don't know, strategic, thoughtful.
Exactly. And that's where the human element comes in. These AI systems aren't just magically improving on their own. There are really smart people behind the scenes.
Right.
Designing those training environments, fine-tuning algorithms.
It's easy to forget that sometimes when you're talking about AI.
It is.
Like it just magically happens.
Yeah, but there are real people behind these innovations.
And those people are crucial, right? I mean,
Yeah.
we need people who understand how these systems work, who can guide them, make sure they're being used responsibly.
Absolutely. It's a partnership.
Okay, so back to the research itself. I'm kind of curious about those complete repositories. What's the thinking there? Why focus on those?
Well, think about it. Different developers have different styles, right? Different ways of solving problems, different ways of structuring their code.
They have their preferences for certain tools and libraries, too.
Exactly. So by training the AI on complete repositories, it gets exposed to all of that.
So it's a well-rounded education.
Yeah, like learning from a diverse library instead of just one textbook.
And that's led to improvements.
Oh, yeah, big time.
Makes sense. More diverse training data, better equipped AI. But what about the resources needed to train these AI systems?
You mean the computing power?
Yeah, exactly. I mean, is that a limiting factor?
It can be. Training these models takes a lot of computing power. And as the models get more complex, as the data sets get bigger, well, the computational demands, they just skyrocket.
So access to high-performance computing, that's key.
Oh, absolutely. Cloud computing, specialized hardware like GPUs, those are essential for AI research right now.
It makes you wonder, though, could this, democratize software development?
How do you mean?
Well, right now, only big companies and research labs have access to those powerful resources. But what if that changes? What if smaller teams or even individuals could use AI to build software?
That's a really interesting thought. It would definitely change things.
Okay, let's shift gears a bit. I want to talk about the open hands agents again. You said they take a more general purpose approach, right?
Right, more like a human developer.
Can you explain a bit more about how that works? What makes them unique?
Sure. So imagine giving them a toolbox, right?
Okay, a virtual toolbox.
Exactly. But you don't tell them which tool to use or how to use it. They have to figure it out themselves.
So analyze the task, pick the right tool.
Solve the problem.
That's impressive. It's like they're learning to think like human developers.
It is pretty amazing. They adapt, improvise. It's not just following pre-programmed instructions.
But isn't that an approach more prone to errors? I mean, if they have that much freedom, couldn't they make more mistakes?
They could, yeah, but that's how they learn.
Trial and error.
Right. And remember, the verifier's there to catch any major problems.
Okay, so the verifier is like a safety net. Now, what about those other agents, the moteless tools? How do they differ?
Moteless tools are more structured. They follow a specific workflow, like a recipe.
Designed by human experts.
Right.
So it's like choosing the right tool for the job. If you need creativity, go with open hands. If you need efficiency, moteless tools.
It's a good way to think about it. It's all about having the right tool for the situation.
We've talked about the different AI agents, scaling up the training data, the verifier, all the technical stuff. But what about the impact on like the software development industry as a whole?
Ah, the big picture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How will all of this change the way software is developed? Will there even be a need for human developers in the future? What do you think?
Well, I don't think AI is going to completely replace humans, at least not anytime soon.
Why not?
Software development is just too complex, too creative.
It requires a deep understanding of like human needs and behaviors.
Exactly. And AI isn't there yet.
So you see AI more as a partner, an augmentation.
Exactly. Like imagine AI handling all those tedious tasks, the debugging, the repetitive stuff.
And human developers could focus on the big picture.
Right, the creative stuff, the strategic planning.
It's like giving developers a superpower.
It is, and that could lead to, huge leaps in productivity and innovation.
Well, what happens to the human developers? I mean, if AI is writing all the code, what will they be doing?
We'll need developers who can work with AI, people who understand how to use these new tools, who can guide the development of AI systems.
So more strategic thinking, problem solving, collaboration.
Exactly. It's about understanding how to leverage AI, not just writing code.
So a new breed of developer.
Right. Architects, designers, strategists, people who can harness the power of AI.
That's really cool. But what about the software development industry itself? Is this going to like disrupt everything?
I think we'll see some disruption, yeah, as these tools become more powerful, more accessible.
But there will also be a period of like adjustment.
Absolutely. An evolution.
And that's probably a good thing. It gives everyone time to, figure things out, develop best practices.
Exactly. Make sure we're using this technology the right way.
Okay, so we've covered a lot of ground, but I think there's one more question we need to address.
What's that?
What does this all mean for, the listener?
Ah, the big question.
We've been talking about all these abstract ideas, but how does this affect, everyday developers, tech enthusiasts?
Well, I think the biggest impact will be the new tools, right?
Tools that make development easier, faster.
Tools that can help you build better software. Things like AI-powered code completion tools, debugging assistance, even systems that can, generate code from descriptions.
And those tools are already out there, right?
Some of them, yeah.
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So you don't have to be an AI researcher to benefit from all of this.
Nope. And as the technology evolves, those tools will only get better, more powerful.
So how can developers prepare for this new world? What skills should they be learning?
Well, a basic understanding of AI is going to be important.
Like how it works, what it can do.
Exactly. You don't have to be an expert, but you should be familiar with the fundamentals.
It's like learning a new language, the language of AI.
Exactly. And it's worth the effort.
It's an investment.
It is.
So to all the listeners out there, don't be intimidated by AI. Embrace it. Learn about it, and explore how it can help you become a better developer.
Absolutely. And remember, we're just scratching the surface here. AI is still evolving. Who knows what amazing breakthroughs are coming next?
So stay curious, stay informed.
And keep exploring the world of AI. It's a fascinating place to be.
We've talked a lot about, the technical side of things, SWE, GIM, the impact on software development, all that.
Right.
But what about the bigger picture, the long-term stuff?
Yeah, where is all of this going?
Exactly. Like, if AI can write code, what else can it learn to do?
Ooh, that's a good question. I mean, the possibilities are kind of endless, right?
It's almost scary to think about.
It is.
Like, AI is already doing amazing things. Image recognition, language processing, even creative writing.
I know. It's like, what's next?
Right. What if AI could design entire software systems? Or what if we had AI assistants that could, work side by side with human developers?
Giving them suggestions, coming up with ideas.
Yeah. Things that humans might never even think of.
And it's not just software, This could impact, like, every field. Medicine, law, finance, even science.
It's pretty mind-blowing. It's exciting, but also a little bit, I don't know, intimidating.
I get it. It's a lot to take
But
in.
I think it's important to be, optimistic,
Oh, absolutely.
to embrace the future, try to shape it in a positive way.
I couldn't agree more. And I think SWE Gym is a great example of that. It's a powerful tool.
It really is.
It can make software development more accessible, more efficient. Who knows what incredible things we'll be able to do in the future?
It's true. And it's a good reminder that, we're still just scratching the surface with AI.
Absolutely. There's so much more to discover.
So to our listeners, stay curious, keep exploring, never stop learning. This is an incredible time to be involved in technology. And the future, well, it's being coded right now, and we all have a role to play in shaping it. So until next time, keep those brains engaged.
And thanks for joining us. I